What's up, everyone? We got our new square body tailgate latch kit here that Pio's going to walk you through the install on. Basically, the reason that you want to do something like this in your truck is it's going to modernize how your tailgate opens and closes, and it's going to get rid of those metal rods that rattle all the time. Just overall, just a better closing, easier tailgate setup. So check out the install while Pio walks you through it.
Here's the first step. You got to open your tailgate. You got to see all that. I'm going to show you a little bit of how the stock one opens. As you can see, you got to, and even then it's not open. So you really have to yank on that handle. We're going to get rid of the metal tailgate holders because when they're closed, they rattle around like that. In the box, you're going to get a pair of bear claw latches, a pair of striker plates, and bear claw latch covers, as well as a pair of cables and all the necessary hardware. All right, when it comes to the latches, there's going to be a driver's side and a passenger side, and they're identified by the notch that they have on the bracket. This one has 2 notches, which is identified as the passenger side, and this one has 1 notch, which is identified for the driver's side. And go. Step 1, remove all the factory hardware. The tailgate trim is being held on by 4 screws. You remove those screws, the trim comes out. We have the clip here that's holding the rod in. We gotta squeeze it with some pliers and then push it out. Some of these tailgates are a little bit different throughout the square body years. So some of them are gonna need a little notch here. So you'll have to trim that for it to sit flush up against the inside of the tailgate. Once you have the handle removed, you can pull these 2 bolts out and slide this out. We're marking 2 holes here close to this ridge edge that's here. So it goes flat and then it turns. So right when it turns, we're going to drill 1 hole on the top and 1 on the bottom. And we're going to connect those down with this pocket that's already here. And we're just going to cut that section out to make room for the spring. This is the tailgate latch, and this is the tailgate latch cover. You put these on here, and you insert the 1/4-20 bolts that are provided. So we're test fitting the latch in here. On some of these trucks, there's a few different tailgates. So on some of them, this hole will already be here. You'll just have to open up that hole to fit the nutsert. In our case, in this tailgate, it does not have the hole there. So we will have to mark the hole and drill the hole out for the size of the nutsert. We're going to start off with the pilot hole, 1/8 inch. We're going to move up to a bigger hole for this nutsert. The final size that we need to drill the hole for the nutsert is 25/64 drill bit, and that's what we'll be using to finish off this hole. If you don't have a nutsert tool, we provide you with the bolt, nut, and washer to use as a tool in case you don't have one. So that is provided in the kit, and we're going to show you how to use that. What we're going to do here is we have a 1/2 inch wrench, we have a 7/16 socket on a ratchet, and we're just going to hold the 1/2 inch wrench so it doesn't move, and we're going to go ahead and tighten the bolt. The nutsert is installed. We'll be using the factory rod, so we just need to remove it from the latch. The factory rod gets used, so we'll need to insert it in the hole through the back side of the latch. To make life easier, when installing the latch with the rod, sometimes it seems to come out of the hole. So just for install purposes, it's easier if you put a zip tie. Once it's in, it doesn't rely on the zip tie. It's just for install purposes. Our latch kit is going to fit 76 to 87, but there's 2 versions of tailgates between those years. There's 76 to 80 and then 81 to 87. So the 76 to 80 is going to require some trimming, as we showed you down here. It's also going to require some trimming up here for the striker. So we're going to go ahead and mark this out. You'll have to position the latch and then have to see between these notches, and that's where the striker is going to go. All right, guys, we test fitted everything, made sure everything worked, all the clearances were good, and the parts don't come painted, just in case you guys want to paint match or just paint them black, powder coat. So we went ahead and painted ours. Now we're ready for final install. The kit comes with 2 spacers. You're going to have one for a 5/16 bolt and one for a 3/8 bolt. The 5/16 bolt one will go on the tailgate side. The 3/8 one will go on the bed side. The way that this goes on is you're going to grab the 5/16 bolt, put the fender washer on it, and then we're going to put the tailgate cable through, and the spacer goes in between there, and the shoulder actually goes into the hole of the cable. On the striker plate, you can see here that the top is going to be the narrower side and the bottom is the wider side. The smaller end of it, closer to the hole here, is going to be towards the back. Depending on which tailgate you have, it'll determine which way the cable needs to go. On the top side, we have a flat side and we have a side that has a hump on it. We want to make sure we put the flat side up against the bed side for clearance purposes. We're going to go ahead and install the spacer now. We put the bolt through the side that has a hump and we'll slide the spacer on. And now you're ready to install it on the bed side. The holes on the striker plate are oversized just to give you guys some more adjustment if you need it, but we're going to go ahead and snug this cable up. Go ahead and snug the striker bolt down, and that way we can close the tailgate and make adjustments from there. The kit is installed. We're going to reinstall the handle. That way we can make all the final adjustments.
All right, that's a wrap for the install. Overall, what do you think, like an hour? It took us longer because we were filming and stuff for you, but somewhere around an hour to do this.
Yeah.
Pretty simple, little trim on some of the years, no trimming on the later years, but that's it. We're gonna put a link in the description below, and if you haven't ordered your kit already, now's the time. See you later.